Trudy Brooks is a 67-year-old woman. She has a history of type 2 diabetes. She suffers with chronic pain due to osteoarthritis in her spine and both hips. And she's got a high body mass index, irritable bowel syndrome, and a family history of heart disease, and with both parents having Alzheimer's dementia.
HSS has a fantastic chronic disease management program. We have a team of experienced and skilled health practitioners that help their patients on their journey to improve self-management.
I've had diabetes for about 10 years, and I also have arthritis, which limits what I can do. And I've been fighting that battle myself for about 10 years, on and off. And got to the stage where I was losing motivation. Like after 10 years, you think, what's the point? And I was looking up nursing homes. And now I'm looking up gyms. I had recently been to my doctor, and he told me that my HbA1c levels were 7. And he said that if I didn't get that down, I'd have to go back on diabetes medication. After filling out the online survey, I was contacted by HSS as I qualified as having a chronic disease that could benefit from their program.
Trudy was handed over to me from our diabetes nurse. Trudy was quite complicated in terms of her health matters. She had type 2 diabetes, osteoarthritis, some digestive issues. She'd also been diagnosed with fatty liver, and she had a high BMI. We set some goals. The weight loss was the key to helping with the diabetes, as well as the osteoarthritis and potentially some of the digestive issues as well.
In my sessions with Hayley, she'd asked me what my goals were. And my goals were very unrealistic, like I wanted to lose 10 kilos in a few weeks. But Hayley suggested that maybe I reduce my goals, be more realistic, so we did that. She gave me really small, achievable goals to do.
So in terms of losing weight, we'd set her up with an in-home exercise physiologist who took her through some resistant exercises to help with the diabetes as well as the weight loss.
He came to my house and did a very thorough assessment. He gave me a gym program and convinced me that I wasn't too old to go to the gym. He encouraged me to go to my local gym, so I didn't have a lot of driving because I live in a small country town. He even got me to take photos of the gym equipment so he could make a program that would actually fit my gym.
In the end, everything turned out really well. She lost about 6 kilos. The pain she was in from the osteoarthritis was lessening. However, towards the end of the program, we realised that her sleeping patterns were still not 100%. She wasn't sleeping very well. So I identified that she needed to speak to one of our mental health counsellors.
Trudy was referred to me by the dietitian for help with her sleep management. Upon speaking with Trudy initially, she reported to me that she would wake up in the middle of the night and with what she termed a noisy brain, and she'd lay awake then for many hours, often with ruminating and racing thoughts. Trudy also reported to me that over the last few years she had suffered from quite a few stresses in her life, which she felt was impacting on her health and her sleep management. So we started off by looking at Trudy's sleep routine as it was, and we talked about a few tips that she could use to create perhaps a better sleep routine for her, and also to reset her body clock each morning. We then went on to look at her waking at night, and I taught her a mindfulness technique that she could try at that time, which would hopefully get her back to sleep a lot quicker than she was managing at that time. I sent Trudy quite a lot of information and links which she could use for her sleep management, and she was happy with that amount of information, so I referred her back to the dietitian.
What was really good about the HSS program was I was dealing with a group of people, and if I was doing this on my own, I would be going to one person and I'd feel like I really couldn't afford to go to someone else and they wouldn't like me swapping. After being on the program, I went back to my doctor and had my diabetes results again, and this time my level was down to 6.5, and the doctor was really pleased and said he didn't need to see me for 6 months. Also, my daily blood glucose levels were down, and the doctor was very happy with the results.
The Strive for Health portal offers a health risk assessment to all members. There's great information on the portal itself for everybody, but for those who are at higher risk, they come through to our chronic disease coaching. Those coaches take them and help them with their diseases that have been identified. In Trudy's case, this was diabetes and stress, but the coaches also identified other health risks while they were speaking with her and targeted them as well. For the funds, it gives them a really great opportunity to target members early, so they can identify those people who in the future are going to be at risk of hospitalisation and start work on them now.
The benefits of delivering a mental health program within home support services allows us to cater for all of our patients, whether they have an acute mental health or a longer term mental health. We can provide acute interventions at any time to prevent them from going into hospital, and also we have a support line which they can ring in at any time to get help from counsellors or expert registered mental health team.
Today we're discharging Trudy Brooks from the Chronic Disease Management Program. She's now managing her health problems independently. She's doing really well.
HSS began the first hospital in the home in Australia in 1989. I feel quite passionate about the difference we make in patients' lives. We can look after them throughout Australia. We can provide them with any care that they're actually requiring. We make such a difference. We keep them out of hospital. They don't have to stay in hospital for extended time. They don't have to be in hospital for a rehabilitation program. They can be rehabilitated in their own home. It's a wonderful service now that we provide, and every day I celebrate what we can offer people around Australia.